I tell you, don't let music and popular culture lie to you. If you are messing with a married woman or a woman recently separated, you might want to watch this video.
Fighting for fairness, one dad at a time.
What's up, guys? Kevin Parkinson back with another episode of Father's Win. Something that popular culture doesn't tell young men enough is that messing with a married woman or a woman who's recently separated, it's very risky. Very risky, very not so beneficial. Now the thrill is there, the excitement might be there. You might feel like, man, she chooses up to a player like me. I get it. But there are actually laws in place that could prevent you from seeing your children if a child were to come from that situation. Let's check this out, and then we're going to talk about why this is important.
This is the first and last time a local father held his son. The boy is now 1 year old. Even though his son lives only blocks away, the father cannot see him.
The reason? The boy's mother was married to another man when the child was conceived.
Michelle Casada live now to explain the law stripping this biological father of his rights.
Now, this is coming from WPTV News in Florida. And this is a really interesting story. I'll, of course, link it in the description. But ultimately, what's going on here is we're going to watch a story about a guy who was dealing with a woman, and he thought everything was clear and fine. But there's a real obscure law that actually stops him from being in his child's life.
Michelle?
Michael Kelly, a judge ruled in favor of the Florida law, denying Christopher Farrell the chance to even open a parental custody case. Every day he stares at pictures of his son, not knowing if he will ever be allowed to see him again.
Missing out on his son's firsts.
I missed the first step. I missed the first everything. He's calling another guy dad, probably, so.
Christopher Farrell would give anything to be able to raise his son. When he found out his ex-girlfriend was pregnant, he put together this nursery for his soon-to-be baby boy. Never once did he sleep there.
1 second, I think I'm going to be a part of my son's life, and then the next second, I'm just thrown to the wayside.
Farrell's ex-girlfriend is married. He says she lived with him for a few months when she was separated from her husband, but she got back with her husband and was pregnant with Farrell's baby.
She blocked my phone number and cut off all ties and contact after that.
Okay. This is a guy who wants to do everything in his power to be a stand-up human being and an awesome father. And he's dealing with a woman who thought her marriage was over, started rocking out with him, and that led to them having a child together. Okay, cool. Problem. She reconciled with her husband, and now she's gone back to him. Okay, cool. This seems like a reasonable guy, type of guy to say, okay, she chose to go back with her husband. I just want to be in my child's life. But what happens if the state says you don't have any rights there? Have you ever thought about that? Let's see what happens here.
As the biological father of the baby, Farrell has taken his fight to the court. But a Florida law from the 90s basically states a child born into a marriage takes priority over biology. Farrell has no parental rights.
What the law may intend is that the child would be born legitimate, would be born into an intact family of a husband and a wife.
It's horrible. I mean, everyone keeps saying it's almost like losing a kid and almost like he's dead, but he's 3 blocks away. I know he's not. It's even harder.
Farrell says after begging, the child's mother met him on a street corner when the baby was 2 months old. For a few precious minutes, he held his son for the first time.
I was ecstatic. I was sitting here crying. I didn't know what to do.
Don't let these songs on the radio fool you. You turn on the radio, you're riding down the street, you hear Post Malone blaring, talking about I can take your girl and I'm cool and yeah, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I'm chilling with your wife. She chose me. Guys, young men, anyone watching this channel, this is a channel where we fight for fathers' rights, but there is an era of your life before you're a father. And as a young man, it's very easy to have that brash, braggadocious verbato about yourself, and you're feeling yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. You should enjoy your youth and that masculine poise should take you into the rest of your life. And you should use that masculine poise to go out and conquer the world and figure out who you're going to be in the world and how you're going to contribute meaningfully to society. It's all great, but these are the risks that people aren't talking about enough. They're not telling you about that. There could be some law that forces. Can you imagine being on the street corner holding your child because that woman is just declaring, hey, the state says I don't have to give you any parental rights. And this happens even outside of these circumstances. But this is another situation in which you can find yourself in a circumstance where your kids are taken away from you. So do be careful when you're in a situation when you're dealing with a woman who is recently divorced or claims that she is. We're going to go over how to make sure you never find yourself in this situation.
He hasn't been allowed to see his son since. Farrell and his attorney are determined to challenge the law. Farrell says he sees no reason why his son can't have two dads.
There is no negative to having more people in your life that want to love you, that want to be around you, that want to spoil you.
A legal expert says cases like these are extremely uncommon, which is why they are not heard of. Right now, Farrell's case is going to an appeals court where a judge could make a ruling or send it to the Florida Supreme Court. I did reach out to the mother of the child and her attorney. Both declined to comment at this time. Reporting live from the North County Courthouse in Palm Beach Gardens, Michelle Casada, WPTV News Channel 5.
Okay, they did a good job of keeping that story brief and to the point. Shout out to WPTV News for that story. But going back to what we were talking about, how can you find yourself never dealing with something like this? Well, number one, you're on the dating market, you're dealing with a woman, and she says that I am divorced. Ask to see her divorce decree. So anytime someone gets a legal divorce, you get a divorce decree. That divorce decree says, hey, you are legally divorced. In most states, a divorce is public record. So if she doesn't want you to see the decree, you literally can go to your county, ask to see divorce records. Usually it's going to be at the courthouse, depending on how your county is set up. You're going to type in her full name, and the divorce decree should pop up. Now, there are circumstances in which it could be private, but you're going to want to confirm that the divorce actually happened for several reasons. One, you never want to be dealing with another man's wife. You're putting your life in danger if you do that. That's not good. I don't want you having to look over your shoulder every single day. There's nothing cool about that. The Bible tells you don't covet your neighbor's wife or any of his possessions. It's not cool. Don't do that. Number two, what you're going to want to make sure is that you understand the laws of your state. Look up these laws. Just Google the name of your state and say, if I have a child with a woman who's still married, do I have rights to that child? See what it says. You have AI, you got Google. It's very important that you look into this stuff, guys. And this brings me to my next point. My next point is that because of laws like this, there is I don't want to say a disdain. That wouldn't be the right word, but there is a obvious public wariness of family court because things like this are on the books and people don't know about it until they find themselves in these situations. Let me explain more what I mean. I recently got this email from this law firm that I really respect out here in Arizona. We've never done business before, but I've joined a few of their seminars. They give a lot of good advice, pro bono work. So they sent me this email. It says, family law is under attack. In the court of public opinion across the country, an organized and vocal movement has been working to conceive the public and legislature that family courts are corrupt, that judges and attorneys are in bed with each other, and that the professionals tasked with protecting families are actually exploiting them. This narrative is spreading rapidly online, and it is going largely unanswered by the legal community. I totally agree with that. Guys, how many... I'm not a lawyer. I had to write a book compiling all of the horrible stuff that I've been through in family court. So you didn't have to go through that stuff. It's called Fathers Win, the No BS Guide to Family Court and Co-Parenting Battles. And if you can't afford to get the book on Amazon, just watch episodes of this show every 10 to 15 episodes, I'm pretty sure I go over a majority of the things that are in the book. So it says they're inviting me to a virtual roundtable, which I think is amazing. So shout out to the law firm. It's hosted by Billy Tarascio. She's the owner of Modern Law. And this event brings together a carefully selected group of Arizona family law professionals for an honest, unscripted conversation about one of the most important issues facing our field, the erosion of public trust in the family court system and what reform looks like. And we need more lawyers to be doing things like this. What we'll be discussing: what is driving the public's distrust of family court and how organized is the opposition? It's very organized. Is the legal community responding? And if so, is that response adequate? No. I'm telling you right now, Billy, it's not. You're not enough. What you're doing here is amazing, but it's not enough because there aren't enough law firms like you and all of the amazing women at your firm who are willing to help people in family court. And this channel is for fathers' rights and fathers' advocacy, but I don't want to see anybody railroaded in family court, but especially not the dads, because it happens too frequently. What responsibilities do attorneys, psychologists, and court-appointed professionals have in shaping the public narrative? They have a huge responsibility because for the last 20 years, the only narrative that's been shaped because of the lived experience of so many fathers is that you're out to get us for our money. And by you, I don't mean the law firm of Modern Law. I'm talking about other law firms that honestly don't care about dads. I've dealt with so many lawyers who've taken tens of thousands of dollars from me for subpar work that ended up in me losing more time with my daughter. And then it says, are there legitimate system concerns being raised that our community needs to hear and act on? Of course there are. Of course there are. What happens if you get in front of a judge who's having a bad day or had a bad divorce or doesn't like men? What happens then? What does meaningful reform look like and who should be leading it? I think I'm one of the faces of the people who are leading it. Of course, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm just trying to get the public opinion to sway of how fathers are treated in family court. And that opinion is that not that you're just going to automatically be defeated if you don't have $1 million in family court, but that you can fight and you can win. But you just have to be strategic. You have to taper yourself. You have to lose all emotions and just be matter of fact and about your children when you enter that courtroom. We will stay grounded in the Arizona-specific landscape, examining local dynamics, local institutions, and what change looks like at the community level. So I just want to read that to you to let you guys know there are law firms that are interested in helping men not be in these kinds of random, radical situations. And prayerfully, you're not in a state that has one of these antiquated laws that Florida has or had, stopping the father from being in his child's life. But you got to do your research. You got to find out. And you got to not put yourself in a situation where you could get railroaded in court. It's so easy if you're a man. So do your best. Don't let that happen to you. And I will catch you guys on the next episode of Fathers Win. Peace.
My son needs me.
You mean our son, darn it.